Roman Reigns leaving WWE, Brock Lesnar is WWE's end boss. Brock Lesnar finally returns for Gunther, setting up a WrestleMania 40 match. Judgment Day member turns on his team at Survivor Series, Drew McIntyre to join the Judgment Day after Raw's surprise events. Vince McMahon returns to WWE in a storyline involving Drew McIntyre. Current champion puts Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins on notice. Let's jump right into it. Brock Lesnar is WWE's end boss. Brock Lesnar is widely viewed as one of the greatest WWE superstars of his generation. Many wrestlers regard the Beast incarnate as someone they want to face one day, including Gunther. The Ring General recently became the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion in WWE history, surpassing the Honky Tonk Man's 454-day record. On November 25, he will defend the title against 8-time Intercontinental Champion The Miz at Survivor Series War Game. In an interview on Under the Ring, Gunther confirmed he wants to face Lesnar in a first-time ever match. The 36-year-old also compared the former UFC star to the final boss in a video game. "You never really know what you get with Brock, I would say, but it's definitely a match I want to have, I want to do," Gunther said. "I feel like Brock is somebody that I kind of like class, and I just made it my thing. It's like maybe my personal end boss. That's the guy that at one point I have to step into the ring with to validate myself, if that makes sense." Lesnar has not wrestled since losing to Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam on August 5. It is currently unclear when the 10-time WWE World Champion will return to in-ring action. On January 28, Brock Lesnar and Gunther competed in the 2023 Men's Royal Rumble match. Midway through the contest, the two heavyweights stared each other down in the middle of the ring. After receiving one of Gunther's trademark chops to the chest, Lesnar responded by launching the Austrian across the ring with a suplex. Seconds later, the long-awaited face-off between the two men was interrupted by Bobby Lashley's entry into the match. The Almighty quickly eliminated Lesnar, bringing an end to the Beast Incarnate's exchange with Gunther. When do you think Brock Lesnar should face Gunther? Brock Lesnar finally returns for Gunther, setting up a WrestleMania 40 match. Gunther is set to defend the Intercontinental Championship against The Miz at Survivor Series 2023. If the A-lister defeats the Ring General, he will become a 9-time IC champion, tying Chris Jericho for the maximum reign with the gold. While the Imperium leader has already created history as the longest reigning IC champion, fans want to see Miz make history at Survivor Series. However, defeating the Intercontinental Champion by himself might be a task for the A-lister. But Brock Lesnar's massive return could help the veteran win. The Beast Incarnate has been out of action since SummerSlam 2023 after Cody Rhodes defeated him. Lesnar has hinted in interviews that he is interested in facing Gunther. The 36-year-old has said he feels he has outgrown the Intercontinental Championship. Having the Miz win would give the title a fresh lease of life. It could also set up a massive first-time ever match between Brock Lesnar and Gunther for WrestleMania 40 if the former returns and costs the Ring General his prized possession. In a conversation with Steve Fall of Wrestling News, the Imperium leader was questioned about the possibility of holding the title for an extended period to subsequently defend it in the main event of Night 1 at WrestleMania 40. The Ring General conveyed that he had surpassed the significance of the IC title and expressed the need to take up a new challenge. Many believe he hinted at pursuing Seth Rollins' World Heavyweight Championship, but I think there's a ranking system in everything for a reason. I think it's obvious that I outgrew the Intercontinental Championship already, like I am ready to take the next step. With the Ring General becoming one of the top names in the company and being considered a significant threat, he would be the perfect opponent for Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 40. Lesnar returning at Survivor Series would catch the fans off guard and give everyone a moment to remember. Judgment Day member turns on his team at Survivor Series. The Judgment Day, which includes Finn Balor, Damian Priest, JD McDonough, and Dominic Mysterio along with Drew McIntyre, will take on the team of Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, Sami Zayn, Jey Uso, and a mystery partner at Survivor Series in a War Games match. It is expected that Randy Orton will be the fifth-man Cody Rhodes team at the show. However, while the Judgment Day showcases a collective front, the other team is a ragtag band of baby faces with their ongoing issues. But a massive swerve could be waiting to happen with Judgment Day's newest member turning on the team when it counts the most. JD McDonough was finally inducted into the faction after trying for weeks. The former NXT star became the whipping dog of Judgment Day to win the validation of the group, especially Damian Priest, who was always antagonistic towards him. However, that could just be his ploy in order to avenge the humiliation he faced at the hands of Priest for the past few weeks. The punishment of Judgment Day was never a fan of McDonough and constantly humiliated him physically and mentally. He was not in favor of the new addition to the faction, but finally succumbed last week on Raw. McDonough could turn on the faction by brutally attacking tag team champion Damian Priest during the match and taking him out. After last week's Monday Night Raw, McDonough utilized X/Twitter to deliver a cryptic message directed at singer Money in the Bank. The Irish Ace hinted that he might be approaching the limits of his patience with Damian. This happened after Priest had rudely jerked McDonough out of the ring after his match. "Everyone has their limit. You're coming close to mine," wrote McDonough. The situation did not escalate this week as McDonough was formally included in the group. This could simply be because they needed an additional member for their match against Team Cody Rhodes at War Game. Do you think JD McDonough will turn on his team at Survivor Series? Drew McIntyre to join the Judgment Day after Raw's surprise events? The events of this week's WWE Raw have left fans reeling as Drew McIntyre seems to have thrown in his loss with the Judgment Day. However, Hall of Famer Teddy Long believes that there may be more than meets the eye in the matter. With the rest of the Judgment Day banned from ringside, things looked grim for Finn Balor and Damian Priest as they went up against Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes. However, a surprise appearance from Drew McIntyre turned the tide as he came in to hit a Claymore on Jey Uso before walking away. This allowed Balor to get an easy pin to pick up the win. McIntyre was later seen shaking hands with Rhea Ripley, implying that he had become an ally of the Judgment Day. While many believe that this signals him becoming a part of the faction, WWE Hall of Famer Teddy Long is not so sure. Speaking on this week's episode of Sportskeeda's Wrestling Time Machine hosted by Mac Davis, he stated, "Well, that could just only been a tease." While Drew's heel turn came as a shock to many, Sami Zayn says that the development is understandable considering the circumstances. Speaking on WWE's The Bump, Sami explained that Drew McIntyre had been failing to bag the prize despite coming close to it several times, which may have caused him to flip. Well, look, to an extent, I can understand where Drew McIntyre, is coming from. I mean, if anybody can relate, it is me, because I had a very similar experience going into a title fight with Roman Reigns with all the momentum in the world. It seemed like a lock, you know. It's very hard to come that close to win a championship and then have it slip through your fingers. And if you were not careful, it could really play with your head, said Sami Zayn. As of now, it remains to be seen what is next for McIntyre down the line. Vince McMahon returns to WWE in a storyline involving Drew McIntyre. While Vince McMahon is no longer as closely associated with WWE as before, a veteran thinks he should return to the screen as a part of Drew McIntyre's storyline. Drew McIntyre recently made headlines after his apparent heel turn on last week's Raw. Since then, the pro wrestling community has been filled with speculation about his next step. Vince Russo also joined the discussion, stating that he would have booked the former world champion as a gun for hire. Speaking on this week's edition of Sportskeeda's Writing with Russo, Vince Russo pitched the idea of Vince McMahon being revealed as the mastermind. According to the former writer, McMahon could be presented as a man disgruntled at losing power in the company, resorting to hiring Drew McIntyre as his enforcer. This is where the reality could come in. With everything going on, who hired Drew? Vince McMahon? Come on, you were gonna tell me you can't make a storyline out of that? Are you kidding me? Russo further explained how Drew could also eventually turn on McMahon, making for a compelling storyline. Apart from his thoughts on Vince McMahon's potential return, Vince Russo has also talked about the state of the bloodline. According to him, another faction was much better than Roman Reigns' stable. Speaking on another episode of Sportskeeda's Writing with Russo, the WWE veteran explained why he considered the main event Mafia more impactful than the Bloodline. 1000% better than Bloodline, not even close. You had one major player in the Bloodline and a bunch of supporting roles. These guys, main event Mafia members, were all freaking superstars. Not even close, said Russo. The Bloodline is currently losing its dominance in the company, with Jey Uso already out of the group. As of now, only time will tell what is in store for the faction in WWE. Current champion puts Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins on notice. Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins have been two of WWE's most prominent superstars over the last decade. In a recent interview, Gunther confirmed he has aspirations of facing both men. The Intercontinental Champion previously went head-to-head with Rollins on the November 8, 2019 episode of Raw. However, the 4-minute bout turned into an 8-man tag team match. He also shared the ring with Reigns in a 5-on-5-on-5 elimination contest at Survivor Series 2019, but they have never gone one-on-one. Gunther said on Under the Ring that he hopes to feud with Reigns and Rollins once his Intercontinental Championship reign ends. There's room to grow, and whenever the time comes that I lose that title, and that time will come because nothing lasts forever, that's facing Reigns and Rollins, obviously the next logical step. I feel like there's a lot of room to grow into. Gunther recently broke the Honky Tonk Man's record for the longest Intercontinental Championship reign of all time. On November 25, he will defend the title against The Miz at Survivor Series War Games. Undisputed WWE Universal Champion Roman Reigns and World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins currently hold WWE's top 2 male singles titles. Gunther believes he would have better chemistry with Rollins, but he also looks forward to crossing paths with the Tribal Chief one day. Those two guys, I think it's very different. I feel like style-wise a match with Seth would match better with me, but also I think being in the ring with Roman are completely new challenges. I think I am more similar to Roman than I am to Seth as a wrestler, but both would be fantastic matchups and a challenge I would be happy to take on. Gunther is currently assigned to the Raw brand alongside Rollins. Realistically, to face Reigns in the near future, he would need to win the 2024 Men's Royal Rumble match or move to SmackDown. Would you rather see Gunther take on Roman Reigns or Seth Rollins? Roman Reigns leaving WWE. Roman Reigns has been criticized for the number of appearances he has had in 2023 as the undisputed WWE Universal Champion. The Tribal Chief has wrestled 7 matches in this calendar year, and according to the latest poster for WWE's Bash in Berlin PLE, he may miss that one too. WWE officially announced an exclusive PLE in Germany for August 2024 and released its poster to get the WWE Universe excited. It looks like the promotion is serious about international events, with the announcements of PLEs such as Elimination Chamber and Payback set to take place in Australia and Paris respectively. While the poster for Bash in Berlin definitely got the WWE Universe talking, a major observation made was the absence of Roman Reigns on it. Additionally, advertising Drew McIntyre on it may seemingly put reports about his departure from the company to rest. The poster advertises Gunther, Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley, Cody Rhodes, Drew McIntyre, and Seth Rollins. Roman Reigns is currently the WWE Undisputed Universal Champion. He has held on to the title for over 1,000 days and has beaten many stars such as Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, Cody Rhodes, and many more. Another name on that list of victims is Drew McIntyre. The last time the Tribal Chief and the Scottish Warrior went head-to-head was at Clash at the Castle in 2022. McIntyre came close to dethroning Reigns in front of his home crowd before Solo Sikoa made his main roster debut and helped his cousin retain the title. Another time when McIntyre came up short against Reigns was at Survivor Series in 2020. The two were champions of their respective brands as McIntyre walked into the bout as the WWE Champion and Reigns was the Universal Champion. The Tribal Chief won that clash via submission. Do you think Roman Reigns will make the trip to Berlin?
I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I got eyes in the back of my head, I'm seeing